A wedding that could bring the family closer than ever, or tear them apart. This is Heartland Season 19, love, drama, and the biggest surprise yet. Georgie's wedding is finally here, and nothing will ever be the same again. The screen fades in with sweeping shots of the Heartland Ranch, golden sunlight spilling across the wide-open fields. A calm silence holds for a moment until the faint sound of horses galloping breaks the stillness. Then suddenly the tone shifts. A voiceover begins, steady and emotional, as flashes of the family fill the screen. Heartland has always been about love, about family, about holding on to the things that matter most. But this season, everything changes. The voice carries weight, building anticipation. Viewers see Amy leading Spartan across the pasture, Jack sitting quietly on the porch, Tim looking out across the fields. The familiar faces ground us in. Home and tradition. But this season, there is something bigger waiting in the distance. Something that will shake the lives of everyone at Heartland. Georgie's wedding. The words hang like a spark in the air. The music swells and the screen cuts to flashes of Georgie smiling, nervous, walking down the aisle in a dazzling dress. Her life is about to begin a new chapter, but as every fan of Heartland knows, nothing comes easy. With weddings come choices, with love comes sacrifice, and with family comes drama. The voiceover continues, weaving emotion into every word. It is a day meant for joy, a moment to celebrate love. But at Heartland, the story of a wedding is never simple. Behind the smiles, secrets wait to be revealed. Old wounds rise to the surface. And the bonds that hold a family together are tested like never before. Clips flash in rapid motion. Amy, wiping tears from her eyes, Jack with a serious look as though keeping something unsaid. Lou stepping into the frame looking both proud and unsettled. The images raise questions without answers. Who is truly ready for this wedding? Who has doubts they are afraid to speak? And who will surprise everyone before the big day? The camera lingers on Georgie, strong, determined, but also vulnerable. She is no longer just a young girl chasing her dream of show jumping. She is a woman, ready to make choices that will shape her future. And with her wedding, she becomes the center of not just her own story, but of the family's story as well. For years, Georgie has fought for her dreams, her place in the world, and the people she loves. Now, she stands on the edge of the most important day of her life. But will it truly be the beginning of her happily ever after? Or the start of a storm that no one saw coming? The music builds higher, mixing moments of tenderness with sudden bursts of tension. Quick flashes, Georgie laughing with her bridesmaids, Tim arguing with someone off-screen, Amy running across the ranch in the middle of the night. A wedding is supposed to bring peace, but at Heartland, even love carries shadows. The narration slows down, letting the drama breathe. This isn't just a wedding. It's the moment that will change Heartland forever. The final beat of the section lands with a cliffhanger. The screen goes black, and only the sound of a church bell echoes in the silence, leaving the audience restless to see what comes next. Asterisk, the camera drifts across the Heartland Ranch, bathed in soft morning light. Horses graze peacefully in the distance, a picture of calm before the storm. A gentle voice enters, carrying a note of emotion and urgency. A wedding at Heartland, it should be a day of joy. A day when family gathers, when love wins, and when the future feels bright. But Georgie's wedding, it is more than a ceremony. It is the moment that forces everyone to face the truth about where they stand and what they are willing to fight for. The screen flickers to Georgie, trying on her wedding dress. The camera lingers on her face, a mix of happiness and doubt. She smiles, but behind that smile lives the weight of her choices. This isn't just about flowers and vows, it's about identity, family and dreams she's not ready to let go of. Georgie has always been the wild spirit of Heartland, the girl who defied expectations, who soared over fences on the back of her horse and believed in something bigger. She fought for her place in this family, and she earned every ounce of love and respect. Now, on the edge of marriage, she must decide if she can step into this new life without leaving part of herself behind. What happens when the heart wants love, but also freedom? The narration softens as clips play of Georgie sitting by the barn late at night, looking at her wedding ring with quiet hesitation. The family, too, senses her struggle. Lou tries to guide her with gentle advice. Amy offers her silent support, and Jack, always the protector, wonders if Georgie is truly ready. Tim, on the other hand, pushes too hard, wanting to see his daughter step into the future he believes is right for her. And then there is the question of her partner. Their love has been tested, shaped by long distances and personal battles. They have dreamed of this day, but a wedding is not just a promise, it is a test. Are they ready to face the storms together, or will the very weight of commitment drive them apart? The music swells as flashes of conflict appear, a heated argument in the kitchen, a tearful conversation in the barn, and Georgie running into the night as if searching for answers the family cannot give her. For Georgie, this wedding is not just about saying "I do." It is about stepping into the woman she has become, brave, passionate, and determined. But the closer the big day comes, the louder the questions grow. Is she marrying for herself, or for everyone else? The scene cuts to a rehearsal dinner, voices raised, emotions boiling over. Family members clash about tradition, about expectations, about the meaning of love. What should be a celebration threatens to unravel into conflict. And in the middle of it all stands Georgie, torn between her own happiness and the fragile bonds that tie her to Heartland. And yet, despite the uncertainty, there are moments of beauty. Georgie sharing a quiet laugh with Amy, Jack whispering wisdom into her ear. The horses running free across the pasture like they always have, as if to remind her that Heartland has always been about following your heart, no matter the cost. The narration slows, the voice gentle but heavy with meaning. As the wedding day approaches, Georgie must choose between fear and courage, between doubt and love, between the past that made her and the future waiting for her. A choice that will not only define her life, but will forever change the family she calls home. The final moments of this section cut to a breathtaking image. Georgie standing alone in her wedding dress, the wind tugging at her veil, the ranch stretching endlessly behind her. Her eyes are full of determination, but her future is still a mystery. The music fades, leaving only the sound of her heartbeat, loud and echoing. As the screen cuts to black, the wedding is supposed to be a union, a day where love shines brighter than all shadows, but at Heartland, family means history. And history has a way of returning loud, uninvited, and impossible to ignore. The camera lingers on the kitchen table. A simple family dinner, yet the tension is thick. Jack sits quietly, his eyes watching, listening, weighing every word. Lou leans forward, trying to plan every detail perfectly, as if organization can hold chaos at bay. Tim, restless as always, pushes his opinions too hard, convinced his way is the only way. And Amy, she sits in the middle of it all, torn between keeping the peace and speaking the truths nobody wants to hear. When a family carries so much love, it also carries scars. And weddings have a way of pulling those scars back to the surface. Flashes cut quickly across the screen. An argument on the porch. Lou storming out of a room, Tim slamming a door, Amy's voice raised in frustration. These aren't just disagreements. They are old battles resurfacing at the worst possible time. The wedding does not erase the past, it magnifies it. The narrator's tone sharpens, threading suspense into the words. Every choice Georgie makes pulls at the threads of this family. And every thread carries a memory, a wound, or a secret waiting to break free. The drama is not only within the house. Rumors spread, unexpected visitors arrive, and whispers of secrets shake the foundation of the family's trust. A figure from the past steps into the picture, uninvited yet unavoidable. The sight of them alone is enough to stir shock and anger. Suddenly, the wedding feels less like a celebration and more like a storm gathering at the ranch. Clips flicker. In silence, Lou standing in disbelief, Tim shouting across the barn, Amy clutching a letter with tears in her eyes. The screen darkens only to burst back with the sound of shattering glass. Something has broken, and not just in the room, and yet, amid the noise, the narration softens to a whisper, reminding viewers of the heart beneath the conflict. Family fights because it cares, They clash because they cannot walk away. And when the dust settles, they must decide, are they willing to forgive or will they let pride win? The music swells, pulling the audience into moments of tenderness hidden inside the storm. Jack places a steady hand on Amy's shoulder. Lou comforts Georgie in the quiet of her room. Even Tim, stubborn and fierce, is caught in a rare moment of vulnerability, his voice breaking as he admits his fear of losing the family he loves in his own unsteady way. Then comes the surprise that nobody saw coming. A sudden twist revealed only in flashes, an empty seat at the ceremony, a shocking confession, a guest whose arrival shifts everything. The voiceover grows urgent. On a day meant for love, secrets will come to light. And when they do, the wedding that was supposed to unite them may be the very moment that tears them apart. The camera cuts to Georgie again, standing in the center of the chaos. Her eyes scan the family she loves, broken, angry, emotional, yet unshakably connected. She realizes her wedding is no longer just about her. It has become the stage where every old wound, every buried truth, every hidden feeling comes alive. The narration slows, heavy with emotion. Every family carries drama. But in Heartland, drama is not the end. It is the storm before the calm. It is the pain before healing. It is the fight before forgiveness. And in this season, it is the drama that will decide if this family can survive the biggest moment of their lives. The scene closes with a single haunting image, the family standing together in silence. Inside the barn, the camera pulls back slowly, the distance growing, the light fading as if the ranch itself holds its breath. The music cuts sharply. A single line echoes in the darkness. At Heartland, love is strong. But will it be strong enough? The screen goes black, leaving only the pounding sound of a heartbeat. Preparing the audience for the final act of the trailer, the music softens. A single bell tolls in the distance. The screen shows the church doors closed, sunlight spilling through the cracks. A wedding is moments away, but silence lingers, heavy and uncertain. The narrator's voice returns, lower, slower, charged with tension. Every story has a turning point. Every family reaches a moment when they must decide, do they break apart, or do they stand together? For Heartland, that moment has come. The visuals rush forward in a flurry. Georgie standing in her dress, her hands trembling. Amy running across the field as if chasing after time itself. Lou clutching her chest in shock at a revelation whispered in her ear. Jack's weathered face, strong yet weary, holding a secret he has carried too long. The screen flashes to black. A heartbeat thunders, echoing louder with every beat. This is not just a wedding. It is the event that will test every bond, challenge every promise, and reveal every truth. And when the final vow is spoken, Heartland will never be the same. Clips begin to unravel like fire spreading across dry fields. A guest standing in the doorway, shocking everyone with their arrival. Tim raising his voice, anger spilling into desperation. A horse breaking free, galloping wild into the night. Georgie crying out, her voice breaking the silence. A sudden gasp from the crowd as something unexpected stops the ceremony in its tracks. The narration grows urgent, fast, almost breathless. What happens when love collides with secrets? When joy is overshadowed by betrayal? When the one day meant to bring peace becomes the spark for the greatest storm this family has ever faced? The screen shows the wedding aisle, blurred, dreamlike, as though time itself is holding its breath. The camera pans slowly to Georgie, her veil flowing, her face caught between courage and fear. She takes one step forward and suddenly the music cuts. Silence falls. The narrator whispers, will love conquer all, or will Heartland fall apart? The next moments flash like lightning images too quick to hold, but powerful enough to burn into memory. A kiss, a scream, a fight, a tear, a door slamming shut. A horse racing under the night sky. And then, absolute darkness. The silence lingers long enough to make the audience restless. Finally, the words rise, bold, echoing through the emptiness. Heartland. Season 19, the wedding you've been waiting for, and the surprises you'll never forget. The music roars back, swelling to a dramatic peak. The family stands together in one final shot, bruised, broken, but still side by side. The camera holds for just a second too long, before cutting to black again, and then one last line, whispered like a secret meant only for the audience. This is only the beginning. The trailer ends, leaving viewers with questions unanswered, emotions stirred, and anticipation burning.